After today's episode of The View, there are a lot of people out there that think that Joy Behar is a little racist. Now, I'm not one of them. I just think that Joy Behar is a little bit daft, kind of on the dumb side, a little goofy, but I don't think she's racist. She had a guest on her show, and they were talking, of course, about gun control. And Joy Behar is putting forth the argument that black folks, we don't own guns. We don't own guns. And so, for black people to own guns, if they black did, then the laws would change. She said this on the same day that a Wall Street Journal article came out talking about how black Americans are buying the most guns right now, and they have every reason to. We'll get to that in a moment. But I want you to watch this exchange between Joy Behar and her guest, who's an American of African descent, who's talking about gun use among black people, how she's a gun owner herself, and what Joy Behar says to her just changes the look on her face and really gets this whole controversy up and going. Check this out.
Said many of them that taking those AR-15s off the market is a no starter. It's all about the guns, all right?
Can I just say this real quick as a gun owner? Yeah. There are people in this country that genuinely own guns and just do so for the same reason that we all sit up.
An AR-15?
No, let me tell you. Okay, let me give you a story. There's a man in Connecticut that watched his neighbor have a home invasion and watched their whole family get killed. He built his own AR-15 because Connecticut won't let you buy them, but you can abide by rules that allow you to build them. And then he has one in his house to protect his family because he never wants to see that happen again. He is a black man. It's odd. Most AR-15 owners are former military, 35 plus and married. So that's all I'm saying is that they're not just crazy people.
Okay. Here's the thing. Once black people get guns in this country, the gun laws will change. Trust me.
That's what happened with the Black Panther. Black people have that.
There's no need for Joy to say that. There's no need for her to go there. And the look on the woman's face was like, wait, what? Joy Behar made a stupid statement. She also doesn't know the history of guns, of firearms in Americans of African descent in this country. Let me just give you a quick little history. Let me introduce you to Robert F. Williams. When he came home from World War II, serving this country, World War II, he ran smack dab into the Ku Klux Klan that were beating, that were lynching, that were murdering Black Americans. After a little while of this, he decided to do something about it. He got a charter from the NRA, and Black folks in his neighborhood, in his community, started to buy firearms and train. Sure enough, it didn't take very long for the Ku Klux Klan to disappear. Not that they disbanded and disavowed racism. No, they just probably went underground, but they stopped harassing Black people. And that's the point. When you protect yourself, you can do away with this kind of evil. They didn't run to the police. They didn't run to the politicians. No, they just dealt with it themselves. And this is why Joy Behar's statement is just incredibly stupid. All throughout the 20th century, back from Tulsa, Oklahoma, beyond with race riots, Black folks were shooting back with what? With firearms, because the Second Amendment applied to them as well. Today, things are a little bit different, but Democrats are still in charge. And what we find are hellholes. We find our inner cities in which Americans of African descent live, they become violent. They become radically violent. Why is that? Because of Democrat policies. You have Democrat George Soros city attorneys that are not prosecuting anybody, that are letting murderers go, that have stupid bail reform, which really isn't bail at all. So you have crime exploding in the cities, in the blue run cities, because of these policies. And Black folks are finally realizing that gun control isn't their friend. Gun control brings about more gun violence, and gun-free zones are all rolling out the welcome mat to these killers, to these freaks. Black folks have figured out that they have to protect themselves. The government's not going to protect them. The Democrat Party is not going to protect them. As a matter of fact, the Democrat Party is busy trying to defund the police. The Democrat Party is busy trying to federalize the police. They're trying to get police out of the neighborhood. And when that happens, who comes in? When that happens, what do we see go on? more murder, more theft, more smash and grab, more chaos, more gang activities. Law-abiding Black Americans have decided that's enough, and that's why we've got a 52% surge in Americans of African descent buying firearms to protect themselves because they realize that nobody else will. Not the Democrats, not Joy Behar on The View. And I don't care if they buy a handgun or if they buy a long gun or AR-15, it's all good. Whatever you need in your neighborhood to protect you and your family is your God-given right, enshrined, encased in the Constitution, the Second Amendment. So, Joy, there's your little lesson. Any of you out there know Joy Behar, go ahead and share this video with her. As a matter of fact, I'd love it if you would subscribe to this station. Tell your friends about it. Tell your family about it. This is where we're going to be. All right, here we go.